Hi everybody, this is Alice Bejeweled Hedgehog here for my fourth video of the day. This is a little scary. Oh well, it's very strange weather. And so I guess that's why I just keep popping back up on YouTube. Anyway, I am just doing a vlog. Yeah. I had a very, very odd day. I posted a video showing a grotesque orgy of buying that I did this morning. I'm blaming it all on the heat. No, it really is hot. So I went out, and went to Michael's, and then I stopped at Quiznos. My chins will be with me for quite some time. Anyhow, yeah, but the funny thing was, when I got back, I just felt icky. I mean, I have air conditioning in the car, but it's so hot that like all the little things that normally don't affect you do. For instance, this is a high-rise apartment building. I'm on the 19th floor. And normally, I guess to conserve energy and cut down on expenses, which of course would obviously end up incorporated in the rent, so I normally don't care, the hallways and the lobbies on each floor where you wait for the elevators don't have the air conditioning in the summer or the heating in the winter, because they also pick up the ambient temperature control from each apartment. So there, it's fairly warm in the winter and it's not too bad in the summer. It was unbelievable today. It's been stuffy and airless and sickening all week, going back and forth in the halls. And I was perspiring, like wiping my forehead while I was waiting for the elevator this morning. So I noticed this evening when I went down to get the mail that they actually had turned it on. And it was not cooling anything, really. It's just that as I walked past, the vents, I could feel that sad little feeble trickle of cold air fighting against, the hot, solid blob of yuckiness. So, yeah, and there's air conditioning in the apartment, and it is running. And it's definitely cool. It's not like it's broken. It's just that, I guess maybe being up so high, hot air just naturally rises and it's trapped in the building and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, yeah, I got back from my little shopping expedition with a headache. Ew. So I took Tylenol, and I thought I was only going to lay down for, like an hour or two, because a lot of times if I take the Tylenol and then I take a short nap, even, like a 20-minute or half-hour nap, I guess that relaxes my muscles and everything and helps the headache go away. I woke up 4 hours later. I had, slept my day away. It was bizarre. So, of course, here I am, 10 o'clock, wide awake. Anyhow, that is my very strange day. Yeah, I thought I would show my Jenny Belly, share my Jenny Belly moment with you. I showed you my craft haul earlier, but thanks to Jenny Belly, a fellow YouTuber who does the most amazing art journals and, creating books out of recycled materials, I consider this part of my craft haul too. This is not the recycling. Okay, this is something cool. This is from my little Smash tabs were all clipped over on this. And all I could think of was that this is a book. I mean, this has so much potential for being a little insert in a journal. I could maybe, if I wanted it to open the traditional way, I could maybe thread something through it and tie it onto something with a ribbon and make it kind of cool. Or since, a book's in other languages open from right to left, I'm used to seeing that in the Hebrew books that my nieces have, I could just do a little book this way and then put something decorative. I'm just intrigued with this little flap thing, obviously. Okay, so these are potential bookmarks. Look, they're already cardboard, nice and whatever. This is definitely potential, for like something to put in a journal, paint it. I mean, put gesso over it, paint it. Here's a little box. I love little boxes. I'm not sure if this is really going to turn into anything, but I'm going to give myself a couple of days to mull over its potential. Here's a little piece of cardboard that I could do some kind of art directly on because it's not shiny. Okay. These, of course, have endless potential. Here's a piece of cardboard that would just add texture if I put it down in my book, and then paint it over it. Especially because in getting the things out, I already tore this up, and this is doesn't even need to be gessoed. This thing, that plastic thingy that came over the brushes. Look at all this potential. Put a paint over it, and I now have a texture stamping thingy. Hee 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 hee. And then yet another piece of cardboard to just stick down in my book to give some texture and whatever too. So yeah, I will put her link below. I think I've been putting her link other places too, but I'll put it down here again. She has a broad range of tutorials. And the first one I saw, I can't remember, I think it was my sister Charmaine. Hi Charmaine, love you. I might be wrong, and I might be giving credit to the wrong person, but I think it was Charmaine who shared this on the Crafty People page. But anyway, yeah, and I'm now addicted to Ginny Belly. And so, okay, shared that moment. Yeah, so that's the kind of day it's been. Tired, headachy, kind of brainless, but for some reason deciding to share all of it with you on YouTube. So anyway, I wanted to, I have so many projects I'm working on again. I have a little girl dress I want to finish up before I start my swap bag. Here is the side number 1. Now it's actually going to be longer than this because this is a very interesting pattern. I'll show it more on Cast Off Tuesday. Hopefully it will be done by then. I'll go ahead and stick a link down here anyway. Basically you do the front. It's a roughly dress, although you wouldn't know it at this particular moment. You do the front and the back, and then you sew them together, and then you turn it upside down and you add a ruffle in yet a fourth color, and then you kind of go back and you do that around, and then you go back and you add ruffles over these base colors. So anyhow, it's really cool, and I just need to get some more yarn to finish the other piece. Oh, Charmaine, this is a birthday present for your daughter. It is late, as usual. I don't think I ever do anything on time. So I hope she likes it. And let's see. I have a lot of things I'm getting ready to finally get together and get mailed out. And I'm going to be working on those the next couple of days. I will, of course, be playing with my new art stuff and doing a journal. But I am making a bracelet for Jen. She's probably forgotten already. Rose Elizabeth. And I just get weird sometimes. When I make something for myself, or for no particular reason, a lot of the jewelry I make, I know I'm not really going to wear it because, I can only wear so much. And as you can see, being 50 and loving yard sales and thrift shops for, oh my goodness, like the past 25 years, I have quite a collection of stuff. That's what these are. I don't even remember when I bought these. I probably bought these 20 years ago. I don't know. Anyhow. But anyway, when I'm doing it and I don't have this feeling like it's for someone, I know this is so weird, because I like to make things for people because I like people and I like to keep them in mind. But then the flip side of that is I get uptight. It's like, is this perfectly aligned? Look at the way I wrap this wire around this little charm. It's uneven. The loopy thing is blobby. And I don't know what it is. I just get stressed. And I keep telling myself, if I'm wearing the jewelry or if it's just something that I've made without worrying about it, I like it, other people like it, it's just fine. So anyhow, I got into one of those little things. And the same thing for Z. I needed to change the chain on her pendant to make it a little longer and a little more durable on her owl pendant. And then I just got, oh, what if it's not good enough? I'm like, oh, for goodness sakes, she asked for one. She likes them. How can you possibly mess up a chain? So anyhow, those are my projects for tomorrow. Put the charms that I made onto Jen's bracelet and the beads, and change the chain on Zelda NRJ3's pendant. Oh, and then, Xanda, I am making something for you. Just, some little things. And, I've just, gotta stop being so weird and uptight. And, that just kind of reminds me, I think sometimes the way we approach things is really, really kind of weird. I'm having so much fun with this art journal. I know I keep yammering on about that dumb journal all the time, but for me it's such a big first because, I don't think we really mean to harm children or, but we have this tendency, I have noticed, where if you have a quickly visible aptitude for something, you are heavily encouraged, and all the resources are piled on you, and you're told, oh, you're so good at this, oh, you need to do this, blah, blah, blah. And then I don't think anyone really means to hurt or exclude the other children, but if you don't have that same instant aptitude, nobody ever says, oh, this is good in this way, that way, and the other way. Do you like doing this? Here's what you need to do to make it better. And the idea that, no, I never had this instant aptitude at art. I never sat down and drew any pictures as a kid that made people gasp and say, wow. Whereas my sister and my cousin did. And I know I always compare myself to them without really meaning to. But I think that's because a lot of times, when we were growing up, people always did compare us. I mean, I was not, like the total leftover. I was considered good in school, the smart girl. And the reason for that is simply because I loved to read and read quickly. So any subjects that were based on reading and reading comprehension, I did extremely well in. The funny thing is, I did it, if you have an aptitude, you like it. If you like it, you do it more. It all ties in together. Naturally, I found it easy because I read quickly and I just seemed to retain things that I read. And of course I loved the praise and the compliments and the grades that went with it, so I put more energy into that. And there's nothing wrong with that. Obviously that's something that I can do, but the flip side is I think other kids who don't pick it up as quickly just kind of somewhere get lost, and just kind of like I did with art. I just grew up with the assumption that Addie is the artist, Alice is not. Oh, sure, Alice can, make candles and do things and play around, but, the idea of taking something that you do not show an instant aptitude for and saying, oh, if you like it, keep working at it. It just doesn't seem to exist in our culture so much. The idea that someone with perfectly good and valid, reasonable, average skills, and there's nothing wrong with being average. Average just means you do it the same as most people, and there's that's a perfectly good thing. And the idea that I would have happily plugged away at it for all these years and developed the skills. I mean, I bought a drawing set today, and thank you to all my lovely subscribers who watched and commented and told me what some of the tools that came with drawing were. Because, I would like to draw, because in the process of doing my art journaling, I realized I love colors and textures. I have always really loved colors and textures. But I want to be able to do more than that. I want to be able to draw and paint things that actually look like something. And I need to learn. It's that simple. So there are lots of resources, free online art classes. I'm losing it. YouTube videos, books if I get to that point. I don't know how much time, because my time is relatively limited. I don't know how much time I'm going to want to spend acquiring the skills, or at what level I'm going to say, okay, I've acquired enough knowledge and skill that I want to just stay here for a while and play with what I know. But I'm really excited. I'm really excited about drawing and painting, and I just wish that I had been encouraged to keep at it when I was younger, even if I hadn't shown that bright blooming talent. So yeah, people had to look at my horse and say, with a little bit of question in their minds, oh, it's an animal? Whereas, yes, my sister, of course, 4 years younger, and would draw this thing and they'd be, ooh, look at the gorgeous horse. So, yeah, and I don't think anybody means harm. I think people just do things like that without really thinking. And I did take away, a lesson from this in trying to be really, really careful with my nieces, because sure, you might be talented. There's like a gift. People have gifts. Some people have beautiful singing voices. Some people have a gift of being naturally quick and good at something, but that does not mean that the other ones who don't have that immediate gift cannot be just as good. In fact, all my nieces, we always encouraged them to do craft projects and art, and they used to come over here when they were little, and we would just play, draw, paint, glue things together, collage things, just all the time. And when they got older and got more interest in things, my sister would provide art classes for them, and they get praise and critiques based on the individual things that they do. And my sister and I have always been really, really careful never to rank them. I think because we were ranked so, and compared constantly so much when we were little. And sometimes I think it's a miracle that we're as close as we are. But anyhow, yeah. So, that's kind of it. It is hot. I've had a strange and kind of tired day. Have lots of projects that I am working on. And, now I am tired. I'm going to just sit back. I'm considering I slept for 4 hours today. I shouldn't be even remotely tired, but I am, and I'm babbling, so I'm going to wrap it up. Anyhow, everybody have a great night. Okay, bye.